where you're watching from. Let me know if you happen to be catching this live or if you're watching the replay. And I know some of you guys are probably also watching on Facebook. I will be commenting or monitoring the comments on YouTube, and I will answer questions there first. So if you're watching this on Facebook and you want to hop over to YouTube, you'll get your questions answered a little bit more quickly then. I'll save time for that at the end of the demo. If this is the first time that you're watching, I typically do the demo and answer questions at the end. So for those of you who are used to joining me on YouTube, I realized last month that I can only scroll back so far in the live chat. So if you have questions at the end and you maybe put them along the way and I don't see them, make sure you type it again so that I'm not overlooking it. So I will do my best to answer all the questions I can while we're live. If I happen to miss something, you're always welcome to text me and I'll be more than happy to reach out to you. Probably will be tomorrow before I answer any text messages, but I'm excited to be here. So welcome to everyone. And if you're watching me on Facebook, I would love for you to leave a comment so that I know that you guys are seeing that there too when I go back and look. I always like to see who is watching it live and who watches the replay there as well. So it looks like I am live. So I will put my phone aside and we will go ahead and get started. So tonight, I have a lot to share with you guys. I always feel so cluttered when I put all of this stuff out to get ready for the live event, but we're gonna cover a lot in a really short period of time. So if this is the first time that you're watching, please hit the subscribe button while you're here. That way you'll be notified anytime I schedule live events or post videos. I have actually been recording in my kitchen quite a bit today, and so there are some new videos that will be coming soon. I'll roll those out over time. They won't all happen right away, but I'm excited to share some meal planning tips with you tonight. The main dish that I'm going to show you guys how to make is a taco bar, but we're also going to take the ground beef. I have 5 pounds to work with here. We're going to separate 1 pound out of cooked ground beef for chili, which I'll probably make tomorrow for dinner, and then another 2 pounds of that we're going to set aside raw, and I'll put in one of our leak-proof containers, and that will be for meatloaf sometime later this week. And then the other 3 pounds will be for taco meat. And so if your family likes taco night, you could choose to do chicken or beef. I'm doing beef tonight because I have done some meal planning before with chicken, and so I wanted to kind of focus on something different tonight. So before we get started on that, I do want to tell you guys about the specials. So if you haven't noticed, Pampered Chef is doing these really, I think they're calling weekly wows, where for about a week they have a product or a product line that is on sale. So I love these little flash sales that they're doing, and we have one that I can share with you tonight. This one ends tomorrow, and then they'll have something else coming after that. But our food chopper, this food chopper is something that is discounted. It's normally $45. It's on sale for $35. So if you order this today or tomorrow, you'll get the sale pricing on this. And anybody who shops tonight will get double entries into the big prizes. I will be giving away some prizes live. I'm doing that a little bit further into the demo because I know sometimes people hop on late, and I've had a lot of people say, I didn't even know I won anything. So I'm trying to put that in a little bit in the middle so that people who are winners will actually hear their name announced live, because there's such something fun about that, right? So if you're interested in the food chopper, this is great. If you already have one, stock up on gifts, whether you need a gift for a wedding or for Christmas. Believe it or not, Christmas is right around the corner, right? So December, we're already halfway through the year. So we're closer to Christmas than we are away from it. So I want to show you the food chopper. I know most of you watching probably have this, but if you don't, you can chop directly in this little cup here, or you can chop right on your cutting board. I hear from people all the time when I use this at live parties that they didn't know that they could use this on a cutting board. They think they have to chop everything in this little cup. And to be honest, I rarely use this cup. I use this only if I'm chopping nuts or a very small amount of food. For everything else, I just put it on the cutting board or cutting mat, and I just go around to the piles and I chop and go. This is very easy to take apart. You're just gonna unscrew this little collar, unplug this piece here, and all of this opens right up. I have to tell you, when I first joined Pampered Chef, we had a different brand food chopper, and this just plugs, or a different style food chopper. This just plugs in, this just screws back on, and this goes right in here. But this was the sample, or is the sample, that Pampered Chef sent me when they restyled their original food chopper. I believe it was in 2000, it may have been 2001, but it wasn't long after I joined in 1999 that they restyled this. And this is the sample, you guys. I have had this for over 25 years now, and it is still going strong. So definitely grab yourself a food chopper while it's on sale. Get those gifts if you need them. $35 instead of $45. So the other specials, when your product total before tax and shipping, and then if you have a host discount, those types of things. So after discounts, before tax and shipping, if your product total is $90 or more, you're going to get a credit that you can use on a future order for $15 off. Some of you already have some of these in your account, so be sure that you're using that. I can't apply it for you on my end. Like if I enter an order for you, I can't actually apply that discount for you. However, you can put it in when you're in the checkout screen. So if you have any credits available, there'll be a little box. You type in the amount that you want to use or the total amount that you have, and there's like an apply button. You apply or redeem, I can't remember what it is, and you'll be able to get that discount. So when you spend $90 or more tonight, then you will get that $15 credit to use at a later time, okay? And then when you spend $120 or more, you're gonna get the small mix and scraper, which is this scraper right here. And this is my favorite of all of the scrapers. This is my favorite size. I have, I don't know, 4 or 5 of these in different colors that I got over the years. So that's a free gift with a $120 order. When you spend $150 or more, you're gonna get free shipping on your order as well. And I assume everybody knows this, but all orders ship directly to you. So wherever you want it shipped, that's the address you need to put in as your shipping address. And lastly, if you saw my post in my recipe community about the mystery boxes, then definitely buy another one if you already bought one. They have changed. So the first round of mystery boxes is they've already gone through that, and they've started a whole new batch. I have it here that's tickling me. They have a whole new batch of mystery boxes. So if you have the desire to get a new mystery box, or maybe you missed out on the first round and you want to get another one, this is the time to do that. Pampered Chefs did say that they would notify us when those boxes are updated. That box updated after the 8th. So if you order before the 8th, then you got the first round. And after the 8th, you'll be in the second round, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully everybody is here now. And if you are not a member of my recipe community, make sure that you go to theflipflopchef.com, click the button at the top of the page so that you can join my recipe community and never miss out on these fun events, and also be included in all of the giveaways. This is a bonus recipe right here. I wanted to make something in our rectangle cool and serve tray. I know some of you guys ordered this during our flash sale last week. So when these were on sale last week, I know some of you guys got them. This is an Eclair cake, and I did record a video making this. Oh my gosh, just smelling that chocolate. I can't wait to taste this a little bit later on. My family is also really excited. I went ahead and put the ice packs in here so that you can see these are gonna keep your food cold. I almost said hot. Cold for about 4 to 6 hours. And so if you make this to take it somewhere, then it's gonna keep it cold. This is also really great for banana pudding. So this is just layers of graham crackers and a Cool Whip and pudding mixture. I have to go ahead and tell you guys, when you watch the video, you'll see this, but there was no French vanilla pudding at the Publix I went to today. The one by my church is one of those little miniature Publix. It's kind of like the Walmart neighborhood market where it's not a full store, it's just a little small store. And they only had plain vanilla. So I got my phone out and I was Googling how I could doctor up plain vanilla pudding to make it more like French vanilla, and the suggestion was to take fresh vanilla beans, which I happen to have some, and so I mixed that in. And you guys, we may have tasted the filling before we layered this, and it's amazing. So I'm gonna put this back in the fridge so that it continues to stay cold. The longer this is in the fridge, the better actually. Overnight is ideal, but I guarantee you we won't be waiting until tomorrow. All 3 of my family members have asked me what time I'm gonna finish tonight because they are ready to dig into that. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started on our meal prep. So I have 5 pounds of ground beef. I don't typically buy it in this roll, but it was cheaper for me to do this. I was at Walmart and I really prefer shopping at Aldi. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna portion out what we need first for our meatloaf. The meatloaf, and I've got all my sticky notes, you guys, so if I didn't have the sticky notes, I would make a mistake somewhere. Now our leak-proof storage containers, I hate to tell you, have been sold out, and Pampered Chef has put them on our discontinued product list. So unfortunately, I can't sell you these, but if you have them, these are great to use. So I turned the scale on, I put the container that I want to measure in, essentially. And then I'm going to press the tare button, T-A-R-E. That means to reset the scale to 0. You can't see this, but it is reset to 0. It's on ounces, and I want this to be on pounds. So I just press the unit button. You can choose from ounces, pounds, and grams. I want to make sure I didn't forget anything. So we want 2 pounds for this. So I'm going to just estimate here. Let's see how good I am. I'm just using a bread knife from our beautiful knife block, which, by the way, I have to show you this. I love this so much. It is just beautiful. It fits in a drawer. You can pull it out, or you can flip this over and stand it up right on your countertop. All right, let's see. It's probably not quite 2 pounds, but we're gonna see. Hang on. Nope. It's 1.66. So I'm gonna just do just a little bit more. And you guys, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you like things to be perfect, then go for it. All right, see, that's 2 pounds, 8 ounces. I'm good with that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and wash this knife so that I get all that ground beef off of there. I don't want that to dry up on there and be hard for me to clean. The rest of this, we're going to brown in this 4.5 quart non-stick stainless skillet. This is my favorite piece of cookware I have ever owned, and I can't wait to show it to you guys again tonight. I'm so excited that it is still available. It was a Wow Supplies last item, and I really thought it was gonna sell out really, really fast, but because usually our Wow Supplies last stuff does. Just gonna put that there to soak up some of that. I'm gonna put the lid on here and put this in the fridge. This is ready for me to make meatloaf one night this week. So if you're like me, Sundays are kind of my day that I figure out what all I have going on for the week. And guys, I must be shedding here. I keep finding hairs on my arm. I'm sorry, they're tickling me. Sundays are when I realize how much I've scheduled myself for the weeks to come or the week to come. And so I kind of figure everything out, and that kind of gives me an idea of what nights I can cook and what nights we might need leftovers or cereal. We all have those nights, right? So we're gonna brown this, but we're not gonna season it. I actually had a note not to season it because I'm so bad about forgetting that when I'm prepping it like this. You see this nonstick coating? There's a nonstick coating with a stainless grid on the top, and that is going to give us the ability to brown this meat, but it doesn't stick to the pan. I am gonna put a tiny bit of oil in here. I'm gonna go ahead and heat this pan. I'm gonna heat it on medium. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of oil. We're gonna add the rest of this beef, and I'm gonna use my mix and chop to crumble this up. I know a lot of you guys have mix and chop. This is also a really great stocking stuffer. This is not really a Christmas in July event, but it could be because we're talking a lot about Christmas and gifts. But this is gonna just break up and crumble that ground beef. So if you've ever done this yourself, or if you've ever seen someone who browns their ground beef and uses a bamboo or a wooden spoon and they're just beating their pan to death, you don't have to do that anymore. And it's much easier to use it this way. All right, so I'm gonna just push this around, and then we're gonna add this beef to the pan. So, like I said, I don't usually buy it in these, like the logs like this. I usually buy it in the containers, but it was just cheaper this time, so that's what I went with. All right, wash my hands so that I'm not dealing with, hang on, I see a piece of raw meat. I'm real weird about cross-contamination. Now, I don't need the lid, but this pan does come with this beautiful glass lid. I'm gonna set it aside in just a second, but I wanna go ahead and crumble this up, and I'm gonna bring this burner closer to me, so I'm not doing so much reaching there. And then once I have this kind of spread out in the pan, I'm just gonna let it sit there. And I'm just using this on a medium heat. I do like people to know that I'm using an induction cooktop, so it is gonna heat up faster than a traditional like electric stove top. I'm gonna set this lid aside so I don't break it. Now, if you haven't seen this, this is our splatter screen. I'm gonna show you how this works. It fits on top of your pan like this, and it opens halfway. So I know my mom, she had, when I was growing up, and she might still have this. No, actually, I think I got it. Maybe I gave her a splatter screen, or she has one. it was literally like a mesh screen, and it had a long handle on it. You guys probably have seen these before, and you can just set it on the top. But when you were needing to take it off to flip your food or whatever, where are you supposed to put it, right? So Pampered Chef designed this so that all you have to do is open one half, do what you need, and then if you need to do something on the other half, you just flip it over. And these little pieces have silicone on them, so you don't have to worry about burning yourself. I'm not expecting this to splash too much or splatter too much, but I'm going to set it here just in case I end up needing it. We're going to just crumble this up a little bit, and after it cooks, we're going to take out 1 pound, and I'm going to measure it with my scale, and that will be what I need to make our chili. Where's my, oh, it's right in front of me. So let's talk about some of our seasonings. So we have meal mixes, we have seasonings, we have rubs, we have slow cooker seasonings. There's way too many names, but the great thing is all of our seasonings do exactly that. They season your food. So this is our chili meal mix, and to make this, you just need 1 package of the chili mix. This is all the seasonings you need in 1 packet. A can of undrained diced tomatoes, so 28 ounces. I usually have the smaller cans in my pantry, so I just use 2 of the smaller cans. Or you can use 1 big can. And this calls for 1 can of drained and rinsed black or kidney beans. What I do is I actually buy a can of chili beans, and I do not rinse them. And I put it in with 1.5 cups of water, like the package says, and it's easy. It's ready to go. So if I decide to make the chili tomorrow, or if I wait another couple of days, it'll be in my fridge. The meat will already be cooked. And if you're thinking, well, I like onions in my chili, fine. You can chop up your onion, you can put it in your pot, and saute your onion, and then add the cooked beef to warm it back up, because it's going to be from the refrigerator anyways. And then all the fat is already going to be drained. I do have a lean beef here, so there should be limited fat to drain off, but I do have a colander if we need to do that. So I'm just going to crumple that up a little bit, and then you have some choices. You can use, tonight we're going to use everything taco seasoning, so that's just like your regular taco seasoning that you can buy at the grocery store, but better, because everything you get from Pampered Chef is truly better than the seasonings you're going to be able to buy on the shelf at the store. If you haven't tried them yet, just try one and you'll be sold. Once you try Pampered Chef seasonings, you'll never want to use another brand. The other option is Southwest. I made this about a week ago, and I use the Southwest seasoning. I tend to kind of switch it up a little bit. The other option is our carnitas seasoning. I've had a lot of questions about this, so I saved this for when you guys were with me. We no longer sell the carnitas in a bottle. It comes in these packages, and this is considered a meal mix. And it says here, for every 2 pounds of meat or poultry, combine the entire pouch of seasoning with a half a cup of water, slow cook on high for 4 hours or low for 8 hours. That's just for that one suggestion. But you can use all 3 of these seasonings interchangeably as a taco type seasoning, right? I'm just gonna just kind of break this up a little bit. Because there's 3 pounds in here, it's gonna take it longer, obviously, than if the pan wasn't so full. That's why we started this at the beginning, right? And I'm gonna, whoops, I almost threw that on the floor. Let me see if I can, I don't want it on high, so we're gonna keep it on medium. All right, so since we don't sell this in the bottle anymore, I will be honest and tell you that personally, I like the bottles. So I put a little note on here. You can see I'm a sticky note kind of girl, right? So I put on here, save the bottle. So this bottle is empty. So I ordered some carnitas packets. I think I bought 6 of these, but I have not finished unboxing all my stuff. If you guys saw my post, these were in one of those boxes. I have a surprise coming, but nobody's guessed it yet. I'm not giving any more clues. So I haven't unboxed most of it, but I had to find this and the everything taco seasoning because I'm going to be using it. I'm making the same menu tomorrow night at an in-person party here in Sarasota. So looks like now we know together. I mean, I'm good. I just guessed that 3 would fill this. So 3 of these, I don't think you could fit a 4th, maybe. If you chopped it down, you might. So now I have my carnitas seasoning in a bottle and ready to go. So we are going to mix this just a little bit more. Just let this get brown. And while we're waiting on this to brown, we're gonna just keep getting the rest of our taco bar together. Now, I do wanna let you know, some of you guys are gonna get a surprise. I have some of these packets of quick smokehouse marinade mix and quick Italian marinade mix. These are technically past their best by date. And I don't want to throw them away, and I'm not going to use all of them, and so I'm going to share these. So some of you guys who win prizes, you're going to get some of these in with your other prizes. This isn't the main prize. It'll go in with whatever you win, but just know when you get it that they're past their best by date. It's not an expiration date. It's not like me cooking this beef past the expiration date. If you happen to be a winner and you know you would not use that past its best by date, please let me know so that I don't share it with you, because I want to make sure I give it to somebody who's going to actually use them. So, all right, we're making some good progress here. You might not be able to see that on the camera, but we are making progress. I'm going to turn it up just long enough to get a little bit more of a sear. Now, if you didn't notice, this bowl is one of our outdoor serving bowls. It comes as a set of 2. One of you is going to win these, and this is part of our big prize list, so I won't be giving these away live. Those will be done after the party is over. And if you joined after I started, at the very top of the comments here on YouTube, you're going to find the link that has everything that you need for shopping tonight, and you'll even be able to see a list of the prizes there, and one of them is this set. So the outdoor serving bowl set, this is a whole bag of on the border, had to look over there to see the bag, on the border restaurant style chips. This is gonna go with our guacamole. So I'm gonna set this aside. I do wanna show you guys our outdoor dinnerware set. So it matches the bowls, and I'm gonna keep this taco seasoning because we're gonna use that. But aren't these so pretty? I have tomatoes in this one. I was running out of counter space, but look, you get a dinner plate, a salad plate, and like a cereal bowl or a salad bowl, ice cream bowl. You guys know I love ice cream. So those come 4 place settings. So you're gonna get 4 of each. 4 of the bowls, 4 of the salad plates, 4 of the dinner plates, right? All right, getting there with our beef. And there is more fat on here than I expected. I did get 80-20 chuck roast. So we'll be draining this out when we are done. All right, but it's not splattering, so I don't need that splatter screen. Okay, so these are melamine, and they are dishwasher safe. It says top rack only on the actual dishes, but the instructions that come with it, the use and care, just say away from the heating element. So depending on where your heating element is, you may can put these on the bottom of your dishwasher. It's totally up to you, or you can just do like I do and wash them by hand. Now, my dishwasher has a way to adjust the top rack. Some of them will accommodate the dinner plates, and so I did try on mine. I feel like it takes up too much space, the angle that it has to be on the top, but they're not hard to clean. They're not hard to wash by hand. Just make sure you don't use something like turmeric. Like last month when we did the chicken satay, I don't want you to use, don't serve chicken satay in these, okay? All right, so these are the dinnerware pieces. I'm gonna set this aside. I know at least one person asking about those, so I hope that helps your questions. All right, so we're almost done on this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna strain this, and I'm gonna use, I think I'm gonna open my dishwasher. I was hoping that the dishes would be done. The light is green, I can't get this bowl out now. There we go, my fingers wouldn't fit in there. These strainers are great. They fit in these plastic mixing bowls. I'm sure I'm gonna get a facial when I open this. All right. This is the better size bowl for this colander. So we're gonna strain this beef in this colander, and then I will measure out what I need for each recipe, and then we'll put this back in the pan. So I'm going to turn this off. This is our scoop and drain. I know a lot of you guys have it. It is discontinued. It's one of those things that I really, really hope that Pampered Chef will bring back at some point. So yes, this strains it, and I'm putting it in a strainer. So we're getting a little bit of double effort here. And I put this strainer colander, strainer, whatever we're calling it. I call them colanders, or I call them strainers. Pampered Chef calls them colanders. Neither one is wrong. They are colanders, but how many of you call things what the people you grew up with called them, right? So, all right. So, get as much of this out as I can, and then I'm going to pour off the rest of the grease. Let me use this as a little helper to get most of this out of the pan, because I do still want to use the pan. So I want to get most of this out. What recipes do you guys like using with beef? So this is just plain ground beef, hasn't been seasoned yet. What recipes would you make with this? So I've got my 3 meals out of this 5 pounds of ground beef is meatloaf, tacos, and chili, right? So I'm gonna pour this on top of some paper towels because it's still very hot. Don't pour this down your drain, okay? Usually I would wait for this to cool, but time is of the essence. Hopefully I don't melt my trash bag. If I do, I will just clean the trash can when I'm done. All right, I'm gonna wipe this out. I really like to get rid of as much of the grease as possible, but everybody does this differently. Some people wouldn't even drain it, and that's okay too. That's the one thing I really want to teach you guys. You can make things the way you want to make them. So if you like, you know, things a certain way, don't let somebody else tell you that it can't be that way. All right, I'm gonna set this in here just long enough to toss that. I wouldn't recommend leaving that very long because I think it's a hard plastic or silicone rim on the bottom, so I don't want to melt that in my pan. All right, same thing we did before. We're gonna take our scale, turn it on. It defaults to ounces, and I want pounds, so I'm gonna press tare, and I'm gonna give this one big scoop. Let's see. All right, a little bit more, a little bit more. Let's see, almost a pound. Oh wow, 1 pound on the nose. I'm gonna put the remaining back in here. We'll put this in the sink. Whoops. Excuse me. And then I'm gonna let this cool because I don't wanna put the lid on here, it'll sweat too much. So we're gonna set this aside, and that is for our chili, right? Christian's gonna be really happy about that. Okay, put this back on medium. Now I'm gonna take my everything taco. Let's see, I didn't have a tablespoon there. Okay. I'm also going to teach you guys a little trick here. You don't want moisture in your bottles, and if you hold this over a hot pan, that steam is going to get you. I think I've got almost 3 tablespoons, so that's what we're going to go with here. I have a new bottle of this for tomorrow night. Don't shake over this, and don't use, if you put this in the bottle, pour it over here, that steam is going to fog up this and it's going to get moisture in your bottle. So I use the rest of the bottle, but if I had not, then that would put moisture in my bottle, and then that seasoning would clump up. So that's really important to keep that from happening. I'm just going to do about a tablespoon of water, and rinse this off because I put it in the sink. Oh, I had another one out. Oh, I know what I was going to use. I'm already washing this, so I'll go ahead. I love our scrapers, but I want to show you guys something else, and that is our silicone coated tools. This one I believe is called a turner. It's hard for me to remember that because I feel like it should be called the spatula, but it is in fact called the turner. So I'm just going to mix this together. It's reinforced with steel and covered in silicone, and so it's not going to melt. I'm not measuring the water. I did about a tablespoon to start. Now I want to do about another tablespoon. And the whole purpose of the water is to create some moisture with that seasoning so that I have the seasoning just as if I cooked the beef with the seasoning at the same time. So this is a way for you to make multiple recipes and add different seasonings. So our taco meat is done. I'm gonna transfer that into this 2.5 quart insulated bowl. I'm gonna just, I love these short handles, by the way. They're much easier to handle than one big long handle. So I'm gonna just scrape all this in and set this pan out of the way. Because we're gonna use this burner again in a little bit. But taco meat, it'll stay hot for 2 hours in there. Pretty cool, right? All right, let's keep going. I hope that you guys are doing well. Let's take a quick little break. I'll answer some questions. We'll do the live giveaways. And all right, I do not know if I am going to see all of the comments. So let me just take a break and I'm gonna answer some questions. Robin, we cannot wait to eat that eclair cake. I'm just gonna see if I have any questions before we move on. Anita, I told you, you would love that pan. It stays on your stovetop. And the foundations, thank you for telling me what the knife set is called. Foundations knife set, I never can remember that. All right, Christina asked if the handles on the pan get hot. So it really depends. These are not even warm. It's gonna depend on a few things. It's gonna depend on how long it's on there, how high heat you're using. However, if you're using a gas stove, they're going to get hot almost every time because that flame, it works differently. So it depends on what kind of stovetop you have, but we do sell these helper handles, these little silicone covers. Let me make sure it fits on that. I'm not 99% sure. Yeah, I thought I had used them on there. That's why it's in here. Okay, so those are for when they do get hot. Let's see, making sure there's no questions. Okay, Sandy asked about seasonings getting hard. Hopefully I answered that question. Mary, this pan is the 4.5 quart nonstick stainless, I think pan is what it is called. If you can't find it, text me and I will help you. And I answered the question about the handles. Karen Meekins asked, are the seasoning packets gluten-free? All of our dry rubs and seasonings are gluten-free, yes. Let's see. And I agree, spices really don't expire. They just lose their potency. So that's why I didn't want to trash those being past their best by date. Okay, let's see. Just making sure I don't have any questions. Y'all bear with me, and then I'm gonna tell you guys who won the live prizes, and then I will come back and I will answer the other questions. We just have a little bit more to do. We're gonna make our guacamole. We're gonna chop up some tomatoes. And oh, we're gonna do some refried beans also in the microwave. Super easy, right? Okay, it's possible that I have missed some questions, but for now, we're gonna do the live giveaways and then we're gonna finish up our taco bar. And I can't wait to tell you how that eclair tastes later. But for our live prizes, I have a nesting spoon rest set, which is 2 spoon rests. That's going to Daniela Chandler. And then I have 2 pantry bundles. And I was boxing these up. I think they're identical, but there's still a little room in the box. I might throw a few other things in there tomorrow, but it's a nice, good sized box, lots of different seasonings. And I think there's 1 bread mix in each box. So the 2 winners for these pantry bundles, Laurie Heredia and Patty Hicks. So you guys will be getting those. And then our 4th live prize is for Katrina Davis, stone serving, oh no, I'm sorry, Katrina Paris. I was like, that's not right. I can't even read my own writing, Katrina. Katrina Paris, stone serving tray that will go out to you. And then after the party is over, I will draw new winners for the remaining prizes. And if you win on the live, you still go in the drawing for the big prizes. So the cupcake carrier, the outdoor dinnerware set, which I showed you earlier, the outdoor serving bowl set, that 4.5 quart stainless nonstick pan that I use for the beef, and the big winner gets to make their choice. They get to choose the new deluxe air fryer and oven, or the knife block set, not this one, the bigger one that has more knives and is more expensive than this one, or the deluxe coffee machine. So many things for you guys to choose from. So if you won, be sure to make a post or something, share this on Facebook that you won. I would really appreciate that. And I will get your prizes out this week. And then those of you who win The bigger prizes after the party, I will notify you guys of those as you win and ship those out soon after. If you're interested in hosting a party with me in the month of July, we still have a little bit of time to get you in, and you'll be able to get 60% off any item or set. And in addition to that, you can earn a $100 bonus once the party hits $650. So I'll do my best to help you do that so that you all earn that bonus. And oh yeah, in the link that I put at the very top of this chat, that's where you're going to find all the shopping links and everything that all the details, prizes and everything for this party. There's also a sign-up form there if you're interested in hosting a fundraiser with me in August. We can start it in July. We need to hold it and submit it in August, and you will get double donations towards the organization of your choice. So feel free to fill out that form so that I know that you're wanting to do a fundraiser versus a regular party. And there's a link for you to text me if you want to just book a regular party, okay? So let's move on and get the next thing going. Let's go ahead and do our refried beans. This is like super, super hard. We're gonna open up a can of refried beans. We're gonna put it in the small micro cooker and we're gonna microwave it. That's it, nothing else. So we're gonna take these refried beans. If you've never seen the can opener before, or if you have it and you don't know how to use it, you hold this little wheel goes up against the side, but look, this is what the top looks like. So we're gonna just press this up against the edge, start twisting, twist all the way around until you bypass your starting point. And then you're gonna turn counterclockwise once you pass your starting point. But you know what, I didn't even have to look because I felt that tension release. When you pass the starting point, turn backwards counterclockwise to release that. There's a little button on one side and a claw on the other. That's how you take the lid off, okay? If you make refried beans and you doctor them up from the can, I know some of you are probably gasping that I'm using a can of refried beans. I would love to know your tips on how to doctor up a can of refried beans. I know you can make these in the slow cooker. I know we can make them in the deluxe multi-cooker, but tonight we're not doing that. All right, so these will go in the microwave. I'm actually not gonna microwave it right now. I could transfer it to the insulated bowl. I'm just gonna wait till right before we serve it. So I'll set that over there. You can use your imagination. You're not gonna miss anything behind that microwave door, right? Okay, now let's get the rest of our taco bar ready to go. So let's make our guacamole because you can't have Mexican food without guacamole, right? So we're gonna use our twist and chop for this. And I love that this has cord storage on the bottom. Every time I give one of these away in my lives, the winner is just like, loves it, thinks it's like the best thing ever. So if you have won one of these, I've given several away, let us know. I'm gonna plug this in, and if you didn't know this, we do sell replacement parts. So if you want more than one of these chopping containers, easy to do. We sell those. Pop this on, put the blade in there, and then we're gonna use our avocado knife. I have 4 avocados, and I have a bottle of the guacamole mix. Let me grab another tablespoon because I don't know how those managed to not make it over here. I had to go to Publix today just to get avocados, and the crazy thing is, a few nights ago, I think it was Thursday, some of you guys who follow me probably saw Keith asked if he could take me on a date, and I'm like, yeah, but I need to go to the grocery store after. And the whole reason we went on Thursday was so that the avocados would be ripe enough for today, so I didn't have to go to Publix after church this morning. Guess what? Even in a brown bag, they're still hard. So I was so thankful that Publix had nice, soft avocados for me because I think I would have been really frustrated otherwise if I had to go to another store for this, because the guacamole is definitely part of the big feature of this party tonight in our taco bar. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this. Let me get a cutting board. I don't think I really need one, but then I don't get my excuse me, I don't get my countertop dirty with the seeds and the skins. I think we're going to do 4. I'm going to see how full the twist and chop gets. I like to put these on the cutting mat like this, and don't do this in my hand, because if you hold this in your hand and you accidentally poke yourself with the knife side, it can be really not fun. Now, I didn't really get to show you how cool this is to take the pit out, but maybe one of the other 3 will let me show off that skill. There is a dull side also. Make sure that you're paying attention. You don't want to have to go to the emergency room for stitches. So we're gonna just scrape out using that dull side. I'm gonna make this my garbage bowl here. Then I don't have to keep opening up the garbage can. So we're gonna put our guacamole or our avocado in here. If you're interested, make sure you check out the Everything But the Guac kit. And I can't look at you guys right now because I have to pay attention to where this blade is. My #1 goal at every party is not to bleed, okay? Because that happened at my very, very first party. I need to look and see how many parties I've done now, because it's thousands now. I need to see where I am in that, because I haven't looked at the number in a while. But I try not to bleed, because once it happens once, you gotta have a fear of it happening every time. This side is to take out that pit or seed. So put this over. I may only do 3. We're gonna see how full this is. I usually don't make this much at a time because I'm the only one in my house that likes to eat this. Can you believe that? When the boys were babies, Christian, literally, I couldn't cut the avocados fast enough. Every once in a while, he will want an avocado, but not very often anymore. But it's funny how taste buds change for kids and for people. I used to hate tomatoes when I was a kid. It's one of my favorite things. Like, I don't want a salad if it doesn't have tomatoes or cheese. That was such a tiny little seed or pit. What are we calling them? All right, we're just gonna do 3. But guess what? I'm gonna have to make and eat a lot of guacamole or make something else with these avocados because I have 4 more that didn't ripen. Now, it's so easy to make this. If you have not used our guacamole seasoning yet, it's just so easy. You need 1 tablespoon of mix per avocado. That's it. Easy enough, right? So we have 3 in here. I'm gonna add 1. It's so full, I don't want it to fall out. 2, 3. And then we're gonna put the lid on this. And I'm going to use the pulse button. So if you press the on button, it's gonna run continuously and puree this. We don't want that, we just want to pulse. All right, I got 2 little chunks at the top. I'm gonna take my avocado knife and just press that down. Pulse just a tiny bit more. All right, check this out. Look, beautiful, beautiful guacamole. So we're going to take our guacamole serve and save. Also, while supplies last, I actually thought this would sell out a long time ago, and it has not. So way to go, Pampered Chef, for that. I want to show you guys how to use this. So it has all of these pieces here, and this piece does come off for cleaning. The first time I used this, I accidentally threw this piece away. Thankfully, I realized it before it was long gone. But we're gonna just put this in. It's like the bottom of the container. And then I'm gonna carefully take out this blade and just wipe off that. Oops, I set that there. And then we're gonna add the rest of this. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful guacamole. See those chips I bought? I bought that brand because I knew I was gonna be the one to eat this. This is not a sharp knife, by the way. This is one of our, what do we call it? Butter knife? It's not a butter knife. Spreader set. It's one of our spreaders from the spreader set, which I love for butter. All right, get most of this out. And then all the twist and chop pieces go in the dishwasher, but they're also really easy to wash by hand. So now the magic of this product, you're gonna take this lid, pop this open. We're gonna lock this on each side. This is called the elevator. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna press down slowly to press out the air, and you get a little bit up at the top and then seal it. And I probably could press that down a little bit more with my spatula, so I'll do that after I'm off of camera because I didn't do a good job this time. But it will keep it from browning. If you guys go back in time and watch my reel showing you guys this when it first launched, I had guacamole in here for over a month and it did not brown. I was not eating it after that, but it was more of a science experiment for me then. So definitely super impressed by that. All right, let's put this aside. And let's get the rest of our taco bar ready. Most of it I've already done. So this is our store and serve. And I like this because you get 3 containers and they stack like this also. So if you want to stack them in your fridge this way, you can. But the footprint of this is about the same size as a 12-pack of cans, drink cans. We have frozen ice packs, pucks, whatever you're calling them. And again, just like the other, it's going to keep things cold for an extended period of time. In this one, I have some salsa, BOGO this week at Publix. In this one, this was a test and it failed the test. I wasn't sure if I could get sour cream in here with, put the tomatoes on this side without that water running under. I don't think I've ever put a liquid in here or wet ingredient. So we're gonna let this be just for sour cream and I'll put the tomatoes in something else. This one is gonna be for cheese because cheese is my favorite ingredient. Let me set this aside and I'll show you guys the cheese grater that I like to use. This is our adjustable coarse grater. So first, get this package open, and then I'm gonna use our tomato knife on the tomatoes. And then the last thing is what you're gonna serve these on. Are you a crunchy taco person? Are you a soft taco person? I also have some chalupas, and I'm gonna show you how I like to use those when we make these. So I'll show you a couple of options. Now, when you're using this part is important, okay? However, it's really hard to use it on a large piece of cheese. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold this with your hands and start the shredding process like this. And when it gets down to a shorter piece, you can pop that food holder on and finish it up without slicing your fingers. All right, pretty soon I will be able to answer your questions. I think I'm doing good on time. I try to end at 9 o'clock. I'm still aiming for that. So I hope you'll stick around for your questions to be answered. And I'll take a peek on Facebook after I answer the questions live on YouTube so that for the recording, we will have the answers. All right, and these are dishwasher safe. This just slides right up for storage. Obviously, I'm gonna wash that before I put it away. This little piece is normally your snack, but I try not to eat on camera. So, which was really hard today when I made that eclair cake to show you guys. Okay, so our cheese, and then I do have another store and serve container. I actually have so many of these because we use them so much, but they're gonna come with these strainer bottoms. So you can put this in the bottom, so any juice will strain in the bottom. I actually prefer that for tomatoes. I was just trying to condense this down and get all of my toppings in there by using the divider. This is the divider. It works great, but not for wet food, as I learned today. So that was a test. So you can use this for 2 different things. I was gonna do lettuce on one side, tomato on the other, but I didn't think there was enough room for lettuce. So I have lettuce in the 1 quart cool and serve bowl. I know some of you guys got this last week in the prep store and serve when these were on sale last week. But this is shredded lettuce in here. I cheated, bought a bag, and has an ice puck. So you can see the theme here. We're using outdoor and products to keep things cool and a couple of things to keep things hot. Okay, so we're gonna use our tomato knife, and I've already washed these tomatoes. There is a variety of ways that you could cut these. I'm gonna just cut the core out since we don't sell a tool to do that anymore. Actually, I'm gonna use a paring knife. I will tell you, one of my very first full-time job actually was when I was 16. I worked full-time for the Dwarf House, which is basically Chick-fil-A, but a dine-in Chick-fil-A. And every morning I had to get there at 4:30. And one of my jobs was to cut out the cores of all the tomatoes for the salads and prep that. So I recommend a paring knife when you don't have a great tool like the core more, which I am sad to say we no longer sell. So I'm going to cut these in half, and then I'll show you how I cut them. To dice them, I cut each half into quarters, and then I just dice them just like this, okay? I didn't keep that together very well. I'll see if I can do better on this one. All right, so we're gonna dice these, and then I will transfer these over into this container. And then the last thing I wanna tell you guys about is how you're gonna serve these. If you wanna do crunchy tacos, you can heat those up in your air fryer. I recommend using the toast setting on the top, or bake is fine, but use them on the top part of the oven. If you're gonna use soft tortillas, soft tacos, I recommend that you warm them in our tortilla warmer. So I'm pretty much a soft taco kind of girl. I don't love crunchy tacos. Keith does love crunchy, so every once in a while I will get a box of those for him. But they usually go stale, so I don't buy them very often because he's the only one that really likes them hard. So this is for soft tacos. You can put them in here, take the plastic off, and put however many tortillas you think your family's gonna eat. Pop this in the microwave for about a minute. Last night I actually used this to microwave, or steam rather, 4 hamburger buns. We had barbecue sandwiches for dinner last night, and I had just exactly 4 hamburger buns left over from the July 4th. And so I put all 4 of them in here, held it perfect. I microwaved it for about 40 seconds, steamed them perfectly, and the boys were amazed because they've never seen me do that with hamburger buns. Now, I do want to show you something else, and that is the chalupa. This is something, I want to say, maybe they've only had these for a year or more. A year or less is what I meant to say. I love these. They're made by Mission. I get these at Walmart usually, but they did have them at Publix today. So I was like, I'm gonna just grab these and show you guys what I do, because I just think it takes your taco to a whole nother level. So that's already hot. I'm gonna put a little bit of this grapeseed oil in here, and get my whisk tongs. I like to use those when I make this. Let me coat this pan with oil. Oops. And these come 4 to a pack, so I usually have to buy 2 because 1 per person is not enough. Put this in there, and it's gonna kind of like bubble up a little bit, and you can essentially make these into like crispy tacos. They're amazing. So while that is cooking, let me finish dicing these tomatoes, and I'll show you the really cool thing about these flexible cutting mats, where you can actually just lift them up. I think I did it with the cheese just a minute ago, but I didn't tell you about it. But I love that you can just pick up the cutting mat and just toss it in where it needs to go. So okay, it's starting to bubble a little bit. So I want it to bubble, like sizzle a little bit around the edges. Patience is needed for the chalupas, so this is a good thing to do while I'm waiting for that. I don't want to burn it, but I do have it on medium heat. And I'm almost done with the tomatoes. So I'm almost ready to answer your questions. So be thinking about what you want to put in the chat. And remember, if I don't see it, if I don't answer it, it means I didn't see it. So you can always type it again. But flexible cutting mat, take these up and scrape all that in. See, I needed more space anyway. So now we have our diced tomatoes. Set those aside, and I've covered everything over here, so that's good. Okay, can you guys see this is kind of like bubbling up? And look, flip it over and let it cook on the other side. If you hear the burner beeping, it's just telling me that it's about to shut off. Induction cookware automatically shuts off if you take the pan off for more than just a short time. So we're gonna let that go, and I'm going to get a couple of paper towels, and let me grab one of these. It'll fit on this small bowl. I like to drain them a little bit. Let's see. Excuse me. Second side always, you know, it's just like a pancake. The second side always cooks faster. And these whisk tongs are perfect for lifting these. So I just sort of, while I'm making these, I just take them off and let them with pizza. You know when you get a pepperoni pizza, sometimes if you don't want all that extra grease, you just take a paper towel and dab it. That's what I'm doing. All right, so you can choose hard taco, soft taco, chalupa. We've got all the taco bar ingredients ready. I have meat ready to go for a meatloaf. It's not cooked yet. And I have cooked beef ready to go for chili. So I've got 3 meals plus leftovers. So I love leftovers. I hope you guys do too. All right, let's see. Let me answer some questions. So now's the time. Put it in there. I'm gonna look for your questions, and hopefully nobody has to type their questions more than one time. Let's see. Okay, Anita said choices are so hard. So Anita was the winner of the big prize last month, and she chose the deluxe stand mixer, and she had a hard time making her decision. So, all right, let's see. I think this is Charlotte, Botany Key. Charlotte, she asked how much feedback I got about the virtual assistants, and that I posted on Facebook. So just so you know, I don't know if you understand this, Charlotte, I think you do, but I wasn't asking about AI assistants. I was asking about like a real person. So I did get a lot of feedback. Most people agree that they want to know that they're talking to me and not someone that I'm paying to impersonate me. So hopefully that helps answer your question. So, all right, let's see. Okay, so adding Southwest seasoning to a can of refried beans before warming them up. I started to add some of the carnitas, and I was like, well, I haven't done that before, so I don't want to say that, but I'm glad to know that you like Pampered Chef Southwest seasoning. I might try that since I haven't microwaved it yet. Anita says green chilies in the refried beans. Let's see. All right, lime juice, cumin, chopped jalapenos, Oaxaca cheese to melt on the top, and fresh cilantro. So Cindy Hicks and Boss suggested that for the refried beans. See, I love getting ideas from you guys too. All right, so let's see, questions. Yes, the taco bar without guac is uncivilized, I agree. Okay. I'm looking for questions. Okay, is there onion flavoring in the guacamole? Let's look and see, because I don't want to tell you, but yes, it has onion powder in here. Dehydrated onion and onion powder is in that, so that's a good question. Excuse me. So Mary asked if the guacamole powder goes bad, how much past the best by date? So just so you know, I personally don't even care what the date on a seasoning is. If you haven't opened it, technically it's going to be good for about a year after you open it. That's sort of the general rule. If you've opened it and you've had it open for a long time, it's going to be less potent because it's no longer sealed. And you may lose a little potency even if you haven't opened it. But I don't look at the best by date on my seasonings because it's really not like meat that goes bad. All right, let's see. Okay, Robin asked about the Eclair cake recipe. It's not a Pampered Chef recipe. I will post that though. I have to get it typed up, so I will stay tuned for that. And the video will be coming too. I have to edit the video because it was done in 2 parts. So Denise asked about keeping your spices from clumping. So the best way to keep them from clumping is don't shake over a pan that's steaming. Don't even take your measuring spoon and put it in multiple times after you've held it over a hot pan. That's a number 1, always gonna add moisture to your spice bottle. So I tend, if I'm gonna do more than 1 spoonful, I measure it in a bowl and then add it to wherever it's gonna go. If it's gonna go in a pan where there's steam involved. Any of the spices, if there's a spice that has sugar in it, those will harden more than some of the other ones. I know Pampered Chef has made some changes to some of their seasonings to try to prevent clumping, some of the ones that have sugar in them. So I believe all of the ingredients for all of our pantry items should be in my recipe community in the file section. There might be a few that are not on that list, like newer ones that have been introduced. So I hope that helps. Some people put the little, and I've tried this too, you can put the little silica packets in your containers and they do keep things from clumping, but I always felt it was just in my way, so I stopped doing that. Let's see. Yes, we need the tomato core to come back. I agree. Let me see. So Charlotte, I do still have that tool, but today I just thought I would show you guys how to core them without it, since I can't sell it. And Sandy, if you have things that are already hardened, if you want to break it up enough, and this goes for any brand, not just Pampered Chef, but break it up with a knife, preferably a butter knife or that spreader like I showed you earlier, not a sharp knife that you could puncture the plastic or go through to your hand. You can put it in a blender or in our herb mill. It works great for that. And if you have the smoothie cup for your deluxe cooking blender, you can put it in there too. Okay, what is the small pan? Oh, thank you for asking that, because I didn't mention that. Juanita, thank you. This is the 8.5-inch non-stick stainless cookware. It also comes with a glass lid. I just didn't get it out because I wasn't going to use it. But of all the cookware that we've ever sold, this is my favorite line. I just love it because it kind of is a blend of the stainless and the mesh, or excuse me, stainless and the non-stick, because it has that little coating on the top, that grid. So you get the best of both worlds with this. So that's 8 or 8.5-inch size. Roberta asked about the flexible cutting mat. So you get slices when you cut. Yes, that's a good thing. You don't want a cutting board that doesn't show those slices. So let me grab one, because I know I have so many of these and they all have. So hopefully you guys can see that there are lots of cuts on here. The cuts are a good thing. It's basically telling you that you're not dulling your knife. If you don't see cuts, you're probably using a cutting board that's going to create your knife to not be so sharp. It will be dull. Let's see. I did not seed the tomatoes, but if you prefer to do that, you certainly can. And Denise, thank you for reminding me about the refried beans. I'm actually going to wait to warm them up when I'm off camera, so that they'll be hot for my family if they want to try them. Mary asked if she orders another mystery box, will it be different than the one that arrived today? Mary, as long as you ordered before the 8th, this should be a new box, because they told us that they ran out on the 8th. I don't know if that means if you ordered on the 7th, but if you ordered on the 8th, I'm not sure, but I know that doesn't apply for you, but for whoever's listening to this, if you ordered on the 7th, you're getting the first box. If you ordered on the 9th, I know you're getting the second box. It's the ones on the 8th that I'm not 100% sure about. So I don't know if that confuses you or not, but Rosie, you asked about what other oil you can use for the tortilla. You can use any oil that you want. I have this bottle. It has, this is great for high heat cooking, but because it has a low smoke point, but you could use vegetable oil. You could use extra virgin olive oil or regular olive oil. It really doesn't matter, because you don't need a high heat for this. So whatever oil you have. Let's see, excuse me. Right before I started, something started aggravating me. Okay, Natasha, thank you for asking about the recipes. So a few of you, maybe not all of you, but if you got a text from me today, I have had some issues with one of my tech services, piece of technology, not a person, that I am working through some challenges. And because of that, I did not have a chance to get the recipes and everything typed up, but I will update that and I will add it to the recipe community this week. So if you're not a member of the group, make sure you go to theflipflopchef.com, join the group at the top of the page so that you'll have access to the recipes. I will do a type up of the taco bar, essentially, and I will also get the Eclair recipe typed up today, but I apologize with the interruption in one of my tech tools that happened on Friday night. I've had some challenges, but thankfully, I have been able to manage, but some things just didn't happen, and that was one of them. So stay tuned for the recipes. And Tammy asked the tool I used to pit the avocado. So that is our avocado, I think we call it an avocado tool. It used to be an avocado knife, but we added the little pit retrieval or removal tool. So let's see. Oh, Melinda asked, how does a bridal shower party work? So bridal showers, I recommend that the bride create a registry, and people can shop the registry without a Pampered Chef shower, but I recommend doing the wedding shower in addition to the registry so that the bride can earn rewards just like a regular host rewards party. And we can do that virtually, where I can set you up like a regular virtual party, not a live event like this, but a virtual party, and or we can do it in person. So as long as it's you know, within the range that I travel, then that's an option, but it's super easy. If you do the party, it looks just like a regular party, but people can shop for the bride and they can shop for themselves, and the bride gets the host rewards if the host chooses to give the bride the rewards. I've only had a couple of hosts over the years that didn't gift the rewards to the bride, but I always ask, so there's always that choice. You could do it either way. Hopefully that helps. All right. All right. I think this is Chris asking this question. This is the silicone helper handle. Hang on one second. I think it is in my, oh no, I have it right here. And I actually need to take this out anyways. Okay, this isn't hot anymore, so I can put it right on my counter, but these are the silicone helper handles. So they go over the handles of the pan. So if you are cooking specifically on a gas stove top, these will get hot. I would recommend getting those. My handles don't typically get too hot because I use induction, so hopefully that helps you. All right, let's see. Anita, that's a great suggestion. The creamy jalapeno seasoning and the refried beans, that would be great. So Barbara asked, how long does the nonstick last on the pans? So I don't know how many years we have sold the nonstick, but if I had to ask every person in the chat, if they have these, if the nonstick coating comes off, I don't know if you'd get anyone. I've only done 1 or 2 replacements over all the time that we have sold this particular line of cookware. Very, very, very few issues with this pan. Obviously there's going to be issues, defects in any line, that no matter what the product is, there's going to be a small amount that maybe aren't as great as the others. But this cookware, I have every piece that we sell, and if you were to look at these with a microscope, there's not a single piece of nonstick coating coming off, and they do have a lifetime guarantee. So that's the great thing. The couple of people, I can only think of 2 off the top of my head for this line of cookware that I've had to help with any kind of a replacement, and because they're under that lifetime warranty, Pampered Chef replaced it. So I hope that that helps answer that question. Rosie, you do not need to season the cookware. The cookware is ready to go, but I do tend to use a little bit of oil just to keep anything from sticking. And even though it's a nonstick pan, it's just, I'm a creature of habit. When you use stainless without a nonstick coating, you need a little bit of oil. So I tend to do that anyways. Denise, the mystery boxes are actually available no matter where you're shopping, whether you're shopping in a party like I'm doing tonight, or if you're shopping directly on my website. Those mystery boxes are available across the board. I believe it's through August the 31st, and they're going to continue to update us when those boxes change. So people who really like surprises can continue to order more mystery boxes. Okay, Mary, you're good to order the second box then, since you ordered yours on the 5th. So Maria, I'm not sure if you're hosting a party with someone, but if you're are you asking me if you were to buy a mystery box because it don't go towards my party? If you shop with my party, then it's going to be considered part of the party that I have going on right now. I'm not sure if that answers the question. Maria Elena, I did have a couple of people post their goodies. I know in the $100 box there was a rapid prep mandolin. Mary, I don't remember. Oh, Mary, I don't know if, did you tell me what was in your box? I'm trying to remember who posted what was in their $100 box. So if you're watching and you got a $100 box, leave it in the comments to help us out. I didn't order any mystery boxes because I have a lot of Pampered Chef, if you didn't know, so I didn't need any of those. So let's see. Okay, Joanne asked about this induction burner. You guys are gonna laugh every time I get this question. It's Ambiano, which is actually Aldi, the grocery store, their brand of appliance. They don't sell this on a regular basis, but every few years I do see it on their aisle of shame, which is where you find all their Aldi finds. The aisle of the store where there's not usually the things that you came there for. So let's see. So Maria Elena said this pan that I'm using right now is the best pot and skillet that she's ever had. So easy to clean. She said she can't wait for Pampered Chef to add more pieces to the collection. I love that. I knew you'd be happy with it. Or maybe she's talking about this one. I pointed to this one, but I think this is the one she's talking about. This is my favorite piece of cookware I've ever owned. In all of my years with Pampered Chef, this 4.5 quart is my favorite. Love, love, love it. The nonstick pans are dishwasher safe, Charlotte. I wash all my cookware by hand just because it takes up space in the dishwasher, but they can go in the dishwasher. Kim, I agree. All right, let's see. A couple more. If you have any more questions or if I missed your question, post it again because I've come to the end here. Have a couple more. Mary asked, what do you recommend to use to clean the grease off the bottom of the pan? Good question. I have it right here. So I don't worry. Oops, I'm about to drop something. I don't really worry too much about what the bottom of my pans look like. You can see there's a little bit of discoloration. If you have a gas stovetop, this is going to be a lot worse. But you can use this product here. It's called Barkeeper's Friend, and this one is specifically a cookware cleanser and polish. But I mostly use this in my sink. So I have a white, I don't even know what this is made out of, some kind of a ceramic, I guess. And it shows, I don't recommend a white sink for anyone watching. It's not, I recommend a stainless sink if possible. The white sinks they show marring marks from stainless steel rubbing on them, but they just show dirt. And so I use Barkeeper's Friend to keep my sink clean, but that's also the same thing that you would use to clean your stainless steel if you need to clean it. All right, let's see. Mary's gonna post pictures of her mystery box, so that's good to know. She got two of the two cup prep bowls with lids, the Rapid Prep mandolin, garden veggie dip, and one other seasoning. So that was in one of the $100 boxes. Charlotte, I think husbands always hate things that can't go in the dishwasher. You can tell them to put them in the dishwasher, and if you want knives that can go in the dishwasher, I recommend the color-coded knives because we did make those dishwasher safe. Kim, if you're having an issue with your prep bowls, text me and I'll get back with you tomorrow because they should snap on and seal. Any other questions? I'm gonna switch over to Facebook really quickly and just see if I have any questions there. And if you're on YouTube, you wanna post some comments, then this is your time to do that. I will go back. Let's see. So Deb Schneider on Facebook asked about her glass storage container. Came out of the dishwasher with the chip. I will be honest, mine chipped because my family doesn't stack them very well. The lid is brand new. You cannot buy the glass container without the lid. We have discontinued the glass containers altogether. I still use mine. Quite a few of mine have chips in them, but that's definitely not something that, I mean, it was just, we just didn't take care of it. Now, I don't know what happened in the dishwasher. I'm not saying you didn't take care of it. I just hate that it happened and I can't get you a new one, but that's the answer to your question. Susan asked, can you buy extra strainer bottoms for the store and serve? I believe the answer to that is not all by itself, but let me look and see. You can get, I think you have to buy the whole, one whole thing. And I feel like the price of one is, hang on. I'm using my little consultant. Here we go. The Prep and Store is $99 to get 3 of the containers with the inserts and the ice packs and the base. But just one of these with the lid, the strainer, and the divider is $25. So depending on how many extra you want, you might want to do what I did, and that was buy a second set of a second entire system is what I did. I hope that that answered your question. So Lori, I don't have an exact answer for what the nonstick coating is on the pans. It is proprietary, so there are things that Pampered Chef doesn't tell us, but if you have other questions, feel free to message me and I can look up specifically whatever it does say, and it is also on our website. But some of the information is not going to be on there. Let's see. Okay, let me switch to my other profile. And I'm gonna check there and then I'm gonna go back to YouTube. So if you are watching on YouTube, make sure that you leave your questions because I'm gonna go back there and then we're gonna wrap up. I see that I've gone over time, so I hope you guys are still here with me. All right, so Courtney, she is watching on Facebook, but she said she can't comment on YouTube. So let me just cover that. If you're on YouTube and you can't comment, make sure you're signed in on YouTube. YouTube will not allow you to make any comments or likes or subscribe to channels unless you are signed into your account. YouTube is owned by Google, so if you have a Gmail account, that's your Google account information. And if you log in on YouTube with your Gmail email and password, that is how you are going to be able to comment there. So I hope that that is helpful. I'm going to go back to YouTube and I'm going to see if there's any last minute questions. I apologize that I went over on time. I tried my best not to do that. Yes, I can show you the utensil holder, Kathy. So this is really cool. Let me move this out of the way again. See, I love the questions because if I go off camera, then I can't answer these questions. So first of all, this utensil holder, it spins around, but on one side, it has a spoon rest built right in that you can set down and you can set a spoon on there if you wanted to. And then this is really cool. It has a center canister that you can take out and set by your stove if you wanted. And then it has this. So one thing, if you wanted, you can put your food chopper in the middle and set these side by side rather than keeping them all together. So that's just one little trick if you want to expand that space and add your food chopper. So hope that helped a little bit. Let me see. The cleaner that I use, Cindy, is Barkeeper's Friend. And this is specifically the cookware cleanser and polish, but they have just a regular Barkeeper's Friend. If you don't want powder, like this looks like Comet that you know, it's a powder. They sell like a soft scrub in a bottle that you can squeeze. Charlotte, I wish the silicone tools had hanging loops too. That's such a great idea. And Katrina, same thing. Ordered the second store insert because it was almost cheaper to do that. All right, let's see. We will enjoy the tacos. Don't worry. Glad you guys are learning some tips. Stay tuned for the date for my August event. I have not even decided that yet. I have something in mind, but I need to verify a couple of things before I'm able to commit to that. So stay tuned. I try to give you guys at least 2 weeks notice, and I'm going to do my best to give you guys 2 weeks notice again. This party closes on Wednesday. That is the 16th. It will auto submit at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. So I'm Eastern Time, but it submits Central Time. I do not stay awake that late, so make sure that you don't need me that late at night because you probably won't get me if you wait until Wednesday. If you shop today, you're going to get double entries into the big prize giveaway. So we have the cupcake carrier, the outdoor dinnerware set, the outdoor serving bowl set, the 4.5 quart stainless nonstick pans, the deluxe air fryer and oven. So the big winner, air fryer and oven, knife block set, or the deluxe coffee machine. So you get to pick one of those 3 prizes. And if you missed the announcements of the live giveaways earlier, Daniela Chandler won the nesting spoon rest, and Laurie Heredia and Patty Hicks both won one of the pantry bundles. And Katrina Paris, she won the stone serving tray. So those prizes from the live will go out right away, and the other ones will be after we wrap the party up on Wednesday night. So if you have any questions, feel free to text me, reach out to me, let me know if you need my help. And thank you guys so much for joining me. Please share this video with your friend, and that's the best compliment that you can give me, is to share me with your friends. So I'm sorry I can't share this food with you in person, but now you're going to be able to make this at home, and I can't wait to hear how you use your ground beef, whether you're making different things or the same. So I appreciate you guys, and lots of love. I'll see you next month, okay?